Hey friends, Graham here from therecordingrevolution.com, coming to you from a hotel somewhere in Los Angeles. And I had a few moments to shoot a video while I'm traveling this week, and I wanted to address something that's really important. It's very timely for the content, at least this week on the blog. I want to talk to you specifically about upgrading your equipment, when it makes sense, what's the logic behind it, and what my thoughts are on it. The reason I bring this up is because I get a lot of criticism and negative feedback. It's not always negative, just feedback that doesn't agree with me, which is totally understandable, from people that say something like this. And I've got some of these recently this week. Graham, I appreciate that you're trying to promote people making great music, and I know you talk about affordable gear and stuff, but I feel like you are misleading people. They'll say things like, you aren't really telling people about the negative things about cheap gear, and you're downplaying the benefits of more expensive equipment, whether it's a audio interface, converter, or preamp, or microphone, or whatever. I've been getting this kind of feedback for over 5 years now, because I've been talking about the same stuff for over 5 years. The Recording Revolution, if you even look at the name of my website, is about this insanely revolutionary time period we live in, where the cost of quality gear, and your definition of quality might not be the same as mine, but I would say that's a little bit of brand snobbery. I've written about that before. But the price of quality gear for the recording and mixing studio has just plummeted. It's just plummeted. I can mix on a 72 channel SSL mixing console digitally and have really clean preamps and quality microphones, all at fractions of the price it would have cost 10, 15 years ago. So I am living in a really exciting time. You are living in a really exciting time. And so I write about and do videos on how to take advantage of this revolution we're living through. What gear you really need so you can save money, and what gear you don't need so you can save money, and then how to use it and how to maximize it and get really good results. Because I don't really care about gear, and ultimately you don't either. We all kind of do. We all love talking about gear, but ultimately we love music, right? And we want great sounding music. So if you have a nice piece of gear, it's because you're hoping it'll get you great sounding music. So let me address why I'm not ever misleading you with my advice, and let me give you some suggestions if you care. If you disagree with me and you've tuned out already, that's okay. But let me give you some suggestions on how to think about upgrading an upgrade path. First of all, I'm not opposed to upgrading. If I were, I would be hypocritical, because I have always been upgrading my studio since 15 years ago. I don't still use Cakewalk Guitar Tracks Pro and an SM58 into my Sound Blaster card on my Dell PC. I have since upgraded that tremendously. I don't still use the same original Inbox audio interface that I had 10 plus years ago. I've upgraded that considerably, multiple times. I don't have the same mic locker. I've expanded that mic locker. I've bought many more mics at various price points. Preamps, same thing. Acoustic treatment, I've added and built that. I've even built out a new studio in a new house. I even have a really expensive desk that does literally nothing for the audio in my projects, but it looks cool and it feels cool to sit on. So yes, I have spent money over the years. So to say that you should never upgrade has never been my message. What I focus on is, what do you actually need to make a really good, really competitive recording and mix? If you can't get a really good competitive recording and mix on the kind of affordable gear I'm suggesting, then I don't think it's because of the gear's fault. It's just that you aren't as talented. Potentially, that's the hardest truth. But it's more likely, because a lot of you are super talented, it's more likely that you're like me and you're still learning and progressing, and your skill level hasn't gotten to where you want it to get. It's never the gear's fault unless there's a legitimate problem with the gear, okay? And I know this because some ridiculously crazy good records have been made on ridiculously cheap stuff. So it's definitely possible, and people are doing it all the time. You don't know the amount of music I get sent to me to listen to. I don't have the time to do that for free anymore, but a lot of times I'm listening to stuff anyway because I just want to know what you guys are making. And there's people that are making records on $300, $200 audio interfaces with a $200 microphone in their bedroom that sounds better than stuff I've spent 10 years trying to make. So the talent is the key, and applying it is the key. The gear is never the bottleneck. Now, I focus on that message a lot for two reasons. One, most people are fed a different message because the internet feeds a different message. It feeds, you need high-end converters or fill in the blank. I'm just picking on converters because it's been a topic on the blog lately. You need a high-end interface or converters to really get pro-sounding recordings, or whatever it is. And when people that are newer to recording and mixing are fed that message over and over again, it doesn't help them. It doesn't help them to be told, well, this is what the top-level mixers and recording engineers are using. You should use it. That doesn't help them because it doesn't teach them how to record or mix, and it just empties their wallet. And so then they go and maybe they can afford such a piece of gear and they go buy it, and maybe it does sound good, but they still don't know how to use it yet. So they still have bad recordings and mixes. Do you know how many people have really nice, expensive gear right now in their home studios or basements, and their mixes or recordings sound really bad? Countless. Okay, we've all been there. So buying the high-end gear and telling people to buy it will not help them. So that's why I don't do it. Reason number two is, even if they're talented and they're learning this craft, by focusing a message on, hey, here's nice stuff, you should probably buy this, it diverts their attention and energy from what I think gets them even better results quicker, bigger wins. Yeah, you get some sonic benefit from some nice gear. You get massive sonic benefit from correct technique and good arranging and better songwriting and better performance and better use of plugins, better gain staging, and better mix technique. Way more bang for your buck. And so you get those quick wins, you get results, you get progress. I get emails constantly from people that are taking some bit of advice that I've shared, which again is nothing I've originated, so I'm not taking credit for the advice. I just try to share anything I've learned that's helped. But they're taking this advice and then they go apply it and they come back and say, Graham, I'm making records now that my friends and family and fans are saying, whoa, did you actually go to a pro studio this time and make a record? And they're like, no, I'm using the same crappy stuff I had before. I just know how to use it now, and I'm writing songs and I'm presenting them better because I know the craft. And they're so excited and pumped. Do you know how valuable that feeling is, to get those quick wins, to see yourself improve, to see yourself get better, and without having to change a single piece of gear or a single plugin or a single DAW upgrade? That's massive. It's so good for the psyche, and it's actually what I'm trying to do, is teach you a craft, not teach you what to buy, okay? Now I know gear is part of it, so I try to talk about gear and I try to share some of my affordable suggestions, but I'm never gonna share this type of advice. You need to buy super high-end stuff because of those two reasons. Because I think it's a message that's already dominantly pushed and it doesn't help. And two, my message actually helps. So, where does that leave upgrading? Should you never upgrade? Because this is the question people want to know. Should you never upgrade, Graham? Is that what you're saying? You just did a $300 studio challenge. Are you saying I should only spend $300 in my studio and cap it? No. I use a studio that costs way more than $300, okay? Do I want to use a $300 studio for the rest of my life? No. Two reasons. One, I've used this stuff, the cheap stuff, forever and gotten good results and gotten better and better and better. And there's other stuff out there that helps me get my job done faster and better, or it paints it with a different color. I'm sure to post about that on an airplane. It's going to come up here in a couple days, or maybe this is past the time you've already watched it. Different microphones and preamps and things give different colors and give you different sonic spectrums and tones, just like having different guitar amps sound different. So it's nice to have different amps, or different guitars for that matter, because they have a different tone and you can get a sound faster that mixes itself better because it doesn't all sound the same. Also, there are more quality products that are made better that maybe give you a little bit more headroom, a little bit more clarity. And if you are good and you have a trained ear and you've actually been getting good results, then you can probably hear a little bit of a difference. And if you've maxed out the skill set part where you're really getting great recordings and mixes, at that point, I feel like if you have the money for it, then you can enjoy an upgrade, because you probably will appreciate it. You'll notice what difference it's making or not making, and you'll be able to form informed opinions, because you will say, you know, compared to this, I think I can hear a difference here and I like that difference. And so it's worth the money to me. And that's what I've been doing my whole career. Buy an external preamp because I like that color. Buy another one because it does something this other one doesn't. Now I'm mixing and matching different microphones. I like adding microphones here or there because I can do different things with them. I've upgraded audio interfaces and converters plenty of times. So it's not that I'm against higher end stuff. It's just that there should be logical progression. And my favorite time and reason to upgrade, and I challenge anyone to do this, is don't upgrade on your own money. Upgrade with somebody else's money. No, don't steal it. Do a paid gig. Whether it's gig out with your band, if you're an artist, take the money you're making from playing live shows and buy your gear. Or if you're recording and mixing bands on the side, on the weekends or in the evenings, take some of that money and then upgrade and invest in your studio. Use the skill set to earn a little bit of money, and then use that money to invest back in your skill set and in your studio. That's the best way to do it. It's a beautiful cycle. You don't go into debt, and you're not just guessing and putting your credit card down and saying, I hope this $3,000 converter will get me good recordings, or I hope this big plug-in bundle will get me what I want. It won't unless you're good. There you go. I'm not ever misleading you. The stuff I'm recommending is very good. You can get great results on it. If you can't, you are the bottleneck, not the gear. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I have to tell myself that too. I'm the bottleneck, not the gear. But as you progress and as you earn some money on the side perhaps, definitely reinvest in your studio. It's smart too. The best athlete wants the best cleats or the best golf clubs or whatever. As you get better, upgrade your equipment because it's a joy to do it. You know, Tiger Woods could play with crappy golf clubs and he would still be way better than me. But he's really good at what he does and he's earned it. He might as well enjoy some nice golf clubs because it's what he does all day. If you do this a lot and you've gotten really good at it, you can enjoy it, you can appreciate it, you deserve it, especially if you can actually pay cash for it. Thanks for listening to my rant. I hope that helps some of you out there that it was meant to help. And for the people that still don't agree with me, it is okay. I'm not trying to win you over. I'm honored that you would even watch my videos or read my content and leave me a comment. It takes a lot of guts to do that, and I appreciate the engagement, and I learn a lot from all of you. I'm always learning. I never want to give the impression that I have this all wired. If that were the case, that would be no fun. I'm constantly learning from people, and I learn from many of you. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for subscribing to the videos. And if you like what I talk about and you want to learn how to maximize your current home studio and you haven't already done it, I have an entire mailing list where I send you my best content, super easy and categorized, and even bonus content that I don't send anywhere else. In fact, I just shot a video for my mailing list that's only going out to them. So if you want all that kind of bonus stuff, you haven't already, join the mailing list. It's absolutely free. And I'll send you a free ebook and a video series. You can just click the button here or below the video to do that, or just head over to therecordingrevolution.com. Have a great week. Talk to you soon.